Is it not driving you crazy to be sitting here not wearing a bucket hat while the three of us look cool as cucumbers?
No, because you don't.
Not right.
You look fool as foo-fumbers. Because I know your heads are sweating. You're just trying to act like they're not.
I feel great.
Foo-fumbers.
Yeah.
Beauty is pain.
Hi, this is Zoe Andike from You Play Disc Golf, and you're listening to Unstable Discourse.
Welcome in to season 3, episode 6 of Unstable Discourse.
Yeah.
Boys and girls. And girls.
There we go. We are at the Callahan Acres basement, the cab. We got a full crew with us for the Hey Ladies Part 3 episode.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
3 times, huh?
We do this a lot.
I was the other day when the last time we recorded, I was scrolling through all the episodes and it was like
Getting long.
Down the Price is Right wheel.
Yeah.
We are well on our way to the Anthony Guzzo 80 episode mark, where we'll start to get good at podcasting.
Yeah, that's
eventually we'll be all right.
We'll hit our stride.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll get there. But first and foremost, let me tell you who we're here with. It's Ryan Fancher of Unstable Disc Golf Gear.
Yes, sir.
It is Sean Callahan of Dellwood Disc Golf.
You better know.
It's Jason Callahan of Bag of Tricks.
Hello, everybody.
And we're joined by somebody you've probably never heard of, Lauren Lakeberg, the disc golf photographer.
Hey,
And we're joined by Sheila Callahan and the OG Hey Lady guest, Amy Laskowski. Say something loud.
Something loud.
Butt Sex Club.
I told you. Oh my
That's
God.
right.
Butt Sex Club callback. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've said that.
You've been at all 3 Hey Ladies, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Last year for Nora Balati's.
Balati. Yeah.
Now would be really weird if you didn't come to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're locked in.
Yep.
All right, so this is an awesome episode. Obviously, we've done this now 2 times before. We like to cover what's going on in the ladies scene. We like to pinpoint a badass woman in the scene and kind of talk about what you've been doing. And there's a lot to pack into this one. We're gonna talk about a very cool project that Lauren has rolled out. You've been working on it for a while, and it's finally here. It's the Dellwood Magazine. Got a copy in front of me. I got a copy on my shelf at home. It's incredible. Can't wait to hear how you have felt working on it and to see now the reaction you're getting from people. So hopefully you're ready to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what Lauren has been doing marketing wise in the disc golf world, especially around Dellwood Disc Golf. And then we're going to recap the ladies event Beltane that just happened this weekend at KLM. It was full of mystery and intrigue and excitement and drama, and we're going to have Sheila and Amy jump on the mic for some of that.
Well, every time you guys talk about KLM, do you remember that song in the 90s, the KLF? The KLF is going to rock you.
That song right
now.
Every time. No, but it sounded like you're doing Seinfeld at the very end of that.
Yeah.
I start doing Seinfeld and end up doing Doug every time. Like I can't.
There's got to be a mashup of those somewhere.
Ooh.
If not, get on it, world.
Yeah. Mark Rebier's probably got a real good.
God, I can't stop listening to that Flamingo song. Listen to it on the way here.
He's so good.
Before we get into all those meat and potatoes, or the bangers and mash, if you will, the bangers and mash, let's get into Fired Up.
You're up.
That's a good one.
You're up.
That was like a combo of the last 8 of them.
Yeah.
How about this? Ladies first.
Oh,
Manners.
What?
Courtesy.
chivalry.
I don't know how to do this.
You've done this before and you killed it. You have to follow yourself. You have like your own big shoes to fill.
Fired up.
All right, Lauren, what are you fired up about right now?
I am fired up about this book I'm going to read. on my
You're going to
road
read the
trip.
whole book
The whole book.
right here, starting now. So
It's
this episode will be 14 hours long.
It is titled Authentic. It is a memoir by the founder of Vans, Paul Van Doren.
Oh, I see what he did there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Vans.
that's why it's called Vans?
Yeah.
Oh,
And the cover, it's embossed.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
The cover's got some
Yeah.
Vans, and it is embossed. The
I
shoe
saw
is
you
embossed.
shared a little like interview with the author. Is that right? On Instagram just the other day?
No, I shared.
Edit this out. Cut that out, Ryan.
No, that is incorrect.
Yeah, not even
That
close.
is incorrect. And Amy, and that's my Instagram boyfriend.
Oh.
Okay.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Don't edit this part
Do
out now.
tell.
That's definitely staying
Do
in now.
tell.
Yeah.
Ash Dykes. He's a Welsh explorer.
Ooh.
Welch or Welsh?
Welsh. I'm saying it wrong.
I was like, is
Yeah.
that the grape guy or the jelly man?
No,
Yeah,
Welsh.
Concord,
Not Welsh.
and-
Welsh.
And
Strawberry.
Mr.
I'll be your jelly man.
So what are you fired up? Why is this book so exciting right now?
I just like digging into stories about people that build their businesses. I like the last book I read was Dick's Sporting Goods, the founder, and I just like
Dick.
yes.
Mhm.
And I just like reading about the process of business and life and what brings you to a point. And it's a cool lifestyle brand. I mean, like reading through it, I know nothing about this story, but it looks like he almost faced bankruptcy and all sorts of things along the way. So I'm excited to find out more.
I feel like nobody appreciates a good spiritual journey like you do.
That's
Yeah.
probably
That's
true.
true, right?
Yeah. But speaking of, I've been seeing animal signs lately and it's been cranes.
Cranes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
we'll dive into what that means for you and what we should be looking out for.
I barely looked it up today and scratched the surface, but I think it's just looking for more like peace and calmness in life.
Hmm.
And lifting
Yeah.
you up because that's what cranes do.
That's what a crane does.
Yeah.
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 It took me a second.
Thank you.
Also, I was thinking about storks when you said cranes.
No, steel beams. He's talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Steel beams.
Totally wrong.
Yeah.
wavelength.
Jet fuel can't melt them.
That's right.
Ooh, there's a Judge Jason topic. I want to hear about that book when you're finished with it and see if we get the recommendation. We could start the Unstable Discourse book club.
Mhm.
See if we can give
Ooh,
Oprah a run
yeah.
for her money.
That'd be the only way that I would read is if you made me. So let's do that.
Oh, you mean if there was a book club that you were forced into?
Yeah, where there was an accountability factor, then it was like, well, I have to.
I was in a book club not that long ago. It was pretty great. And that was the only reason I read at all. And I loved it.
Well, Jason and I are already in the same book club. What book did we read?
Oh, Dave Grohl's book.
Thank you.
Oh, God,
I'm trying
yeah,
to blank.
yeah.
Well, where's
Well, I
the,
listened to that. I didn't read it.
why
Yeah, I
why is there a
listened to it
last
too.
name all of a sudden? I thought you guys were on a first name basis.
Yeah, you and Dave.
You and Dave.
My bad.
You know,
My
Dave.
apologies.
Dave's book.
Dave's book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave.
Dave's
Mr.
book.
Grohl
Yeah.
to me,
Mr. Grohl
Yeah.
to you.
but Dave. To you.
Dave to me.
But
yes.
our book club is we listen to the same book
Yeah.
club.
Oh, it's an audio book club.
An audio book club.
That's appropriate
Yeah.
for a podcast.
You know?
ABC.
Yep. An ABC.
Audio
All
book
right.
club.
Well, let's keep it moving counterclockwise. Jason, what are you fired up about?
I am fired up that. So there's a story that I have to tell you guys real
Oh, here we
okay.
go.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't do this.
Don't do it.
I'm fired up
Don't.
that the Unstable Discourse Season 3 enamel pins finally showed up.
You're hearing the cellophane. Yep.
They're here. They're beautiful. And they'll be at the shop to purchase for anybody that wants to get them.
Yep. Sean just stocked them today as I was watching.
Yep.
Sure did.
You
I
might
love
say
it.
that.
Why did we not think to number them on the design that we sent to Nina? Like 1, 2, or even season 1, season 2.
Oh,
Well, that's why they're a different color each time.
Up.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they are different colors. We'll know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Season 1 is white. Season 2 is blue. And season 3 is red.
Season 1 is racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm very fired up that I got my season 3 pin. I love them.
You might say that Nina really pinned it with
she
these ones.
pinned it
Heyo.
with this one.
The color is so sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
It's like
a,
a
that's a
deep
good red.
brick red.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a rye red.
Definitely.
It's a good thing it's a good thing you're keeping it short because I have a lot of things I'm fired up about. But we'll get into that later. First, we're going counterclockwise.
Don't side eye me. You
You're
full.
ready, Alex.
You full
You brought
bullseye
it up,
me.
dog.
Yeah. Go
All right.
ahead.
Bucket hats. That's number
Check
one.
them out.
No, man.
Bucket hats.
Yeah.
You're all
The
wearing
hottest
one.
thing you could possibly put on your head.
Yeah,
Bucket
I am
hats.
fired down now because Jason took his bucket hat off.
Yeah.
It's
But we started
It's
with
supposed to be a
all of
thing,
us
man.
wearing one.
how are you guys wearing them?
I'm comfortable. These are
My
great.
head was on fire.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
That's because you're a pitta, right, Sheila? Boom.
What is that?
Pitta?
Sheila?
What does that mean, and what does that mean to you? What did you say, Lauren?
It's from yoga. Yeah, it's a yoga thing. It's too long to explain. But you're a pitta because you have too much heat in your body and it comes out your head.
Look it up.
Okay. How do I get rid of it? Because it's constant. I'm always warm all the time.
What's
Just
funny
constantly.
is you have to wear a bucket hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to sweat it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you train your brain.
I say all the time, it's easier to warm up when you're cold than it is to cool down when you're warm.
That's the Judge Jason. That's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
No, absolutely.
No, you
I
can warm up.
live
You
my
can
life.
cool off way faster than warm up.
Yeah.
If you are in the desert,
I would rather, if it was winter 365 days a year, I'd be one of the happiest people in the world.
I'm
Get
with
out.
you on that.
Just
But
get out.
Mm-mm.
But like when you're really cold, like when I played the dog bowl,
Mhm.
it took me like hours before I was warmed back up.
You can always put another layer of clothes on that helps you warm up.
But it still
But you
takes
can
a
only
while.
take
I sat
so
on an
much
electric
clothes off when
seat
you're
warmer.
overheated.
I sat on an electric device that was meant to warm my skin. It still took hours.
See.
But if I'm hot and I walk into an air conditioned room, you're cooled off in like moments.
No, I don't. If I walk into an air conditioned room, I'm still miserable, and it takes a while.
There's something wrong with you.
There might be something wrong with me.
Do you know who Wim Hof is? That's what you need to do.
Wim Hof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Male or
WIM.
female?
Male.
Wim, first name Wim.
Wim. WIM Hof. HOF.
HOF. Wim Hof.
Explain.
Well, Ricky Wysocki, I noticed, has been picking up a lot of his techniques with his play, and it's all about embodying cold temperatures and breath work. So like cold showers, ice baths. The reason Wim got into it, his wife actually, well, I think she committed suicide. It's terrible. But she was facing some serious depression issues, and he self-centered himself by these cold temperatures where he lives. And he has actually taught science a few things.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
Very cool.
Kristen Tatar was doing some ice bath work last year. I
Yeah,
saw some of that stuff.
Yeah,
and
well,
she
she
was-
comes from like that culture,
Yeah,
that
the
Finnish
Netherlands,
culture,
yeah.
the sauna, the ice water,
Mhm.
and yeah,
Jay, you need to get some ice bath work.
Apparently.
yeah, you do.
Yeah, so just a tiny bit more context on the bucket hat things. I realized last summer that when I put on this kind of hat, my level of like goes through the roof. I just am chilling so hard. Like
It's the bucket hat.
I'm
Yeah.
so like whatever happens, I'm game for it in this hat. And so I was like, it's gonna be bucket hat summer.
Summer of
It's a summer
Yeah.
hat, absolutely. I bought this at the store the other day. And then I was like, you know what? I need other colorways to match my outfits this summer.
Duh.
So I ordered another one. And then I was like, oh, but I need one more style. So I and Liz gets all my notifications on Amazon whenever I order something. So
That's
I
your first
randomly-
mistake.
I got the text from
Number to count,
her
dog.
that was out of
Absolutely.
nowhere. She just goes, can you stop buying bucket hats? And then I was like, okay,
No, I cannot.
now that you're
I wish I could.
now that you're saying it's a thing, no, I cannot. And I ordered 4 more after that.
Oh,
So
Good for you.
I'm gonna have a bucket hat for every kind of outfit this summer,
Good.
and I'm very
You
excited.
deserve it.
Next on my list is last night I went and saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, and what a masterpiece of a film. It's got me feeling very grateful for every moment that I have, and grateful to like be exactly where I am right now. And I'm just so amazed by what people can do with cinema, and I think everybody should go see that movie. It's truly special.
Coop, on the other
Coop
hand,
disagrees.
He
Yeah.
cares for.
He thinks it was
He's
overrated.
over here.
Here
sighing,
we go.
like, okay.
Whatever, dog.
Snore.
Whatever, dog.
Everybody needs to go see that. And next thing on my list is this is the disc golf thing finally. Match Play League. First week happened last week. It was great. I got my ass handed to me by Matt Swing out at Rolling Knolls.
Of course
He
you
beat
did.
me by-
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What does he
5
have? Like about an 8-foot wingspan? Something like
Yeah.
that?
It was not even. He beat me by 5 or 6 points. So the game was over before we even finished the round. But I still just love that format. I'm excited about the next couple of weeks.
What are you doing? Like, break it down a little bit for us.
So you sign up. When you get there, you just go, I'm going to play either uppers or lowers, and then you get randomly matched up against somebody else in your division. If we have an odd number of people, then you play a 1v1v1. So it's 3 people playing at the same time, and you're playing 2 separate matches. That's basically it. If you win, you
All
get
18 holes.
all
Okay.
18 holes. If you win, you get more points than if you lose, and whoever has the most points at the end of this 5-week league will get invitations to our showdown tournament,
Like a
which
bracket.
is bracket style match play tournament. 2 more things. I'm almost done with my list.
Jesus.
Number 4 is I am starting a new podcast. You guys don't know about this yet. It's for my job. So I do review management and reputation management. It's like a software thing. So I'm starting a podcast where I'm going to be interviewing the people I work with and the clients I work with, and then the prospects that I want to work with. So we're going to be talking about all the philosophies behind online review management and sort of SEO and all the things that go into that. Totally a professional type thing. It's going to be a lot less fun than this, but for professionals, I think there'll be some entertainment to it. It's called the 0 Stars Podcast because
Ooh, I like
so
the
many
name of that.
reviews start with, I would give this place 0 stars if I could. 0 Stars Podcast is starting
I
soon.
like the concept.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
It's going to be very hard to not do all the things I do on this show. Like I've been thinking like, I can't say welcome in when the show starts. How am I going to start that?
Oh, that's copyright trademark,
That's
unstable
TM.
discourse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I'll figure it out. Welcome out to,
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. And the last thing.
Come on down.
I'm
No,
fired.
can't use that.
Let's get ready to podcast.
No.
Last thing on my list is an announcement. It is involving a certain somebody in the room. We have a new staff member, an official staff member on the podcast. The Queen of the Canyons, Sheila Callahan, is the new producer of Unstable Discourse.
Hey.
Yay! I mean, let's face it.
She's been doing
She's
it.
been helping for a... Ooh. Lauren,
Oh,
hurry.
take the
Lauren.
She
picture.
just put on the shades.
She put on some like,
Sheila, do that again.
this is
Yeah, exactly,
Cyberpunk
yeah.
2077 shades.
Yeah.
So
I'm busy living in 2077.
if you've been a guest on the show before, you know that
77.
a lot of things happen last minute and they don't need to be. So Sheila's going to help make sure that we're more organized, and we have some guardrails on this train. So very excited for Sheila to be doing more stuff for this show.
I've never seen a train with guardrails, but
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's kind of the whole point.
The whole way for miles.
Right.
New York to California.
Got it.
guardrails.
Yeah.
That's all my fired up things.
That was a lot.
And
All
that's a
right,
wrap
well,
on this episode.
Thanks
Yeah.
for listening.
Bang, 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 bang.
Now one of you two, please.
I'll go so I'm not last.
Go ahead.
I would say, a third of the way to my own bathroom.
Come again?
You're right. I'm a third of the way to my very own bathroom that will be for me.
I hope you make it because that's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
As far as building it, guys.
Oh,
Not I have to use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were telling us the status of your bladder.
Yes. So construction has begun upstairs on the bathroom. Tore the roof out. It is framed. It is now an 8-foot ceiling. No longer.
Well, you
just
got to
like-
start from scratch. That bathroom
Oh.
could barely fit one
Well,
person.
like I'm okay. So I'll try to paint the picture. Imagine like a 5x5 bathroom with a small pedestal sink, a toilet, and still like a 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot standing shower. But the ceiling is like a gable roof. So it's only 7-foot ceilings, but you only have, and I'm 5'7", if you didn't already know that, about a
That's generous.
3
Go ahead.
foot. It's 5, 6.5. But you know what I'm saying? Like, can't I just round up?
Yeah.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason.
In front of the door, you've got about a 2.5 by 2.5 foot spot where you could stand at my height before the ceiling in front of you is sloping at like
30 degrees or something. Yeah.
like right in your face. So
Oh,
like
wow.
in order to even use this particular toilet and this particular bathroom, shout out to Clay Bile. You would have to turn around at the door and like back your way up like a semi. Beep, beep, beep.
Mhm.
Ridiculous.
It was-
never ever
Right.
going to work.
Right.
It literally in 1 year of being at this house, I've never used the shower, toilet, or sink. Door's been closed.
You save all your shits for when you go to Dellwood?
In that bathroom that we've all used. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
Wow.
It was so tiny that the corner of the door was trimmed because even opening the door,
Yeah,
Would have
swinging
hit
the
the
door
ceiling.
into
Yeah.
there was a
Mhm.
the top right hand corner of the door was cut off at a 45,
Yeah.
so the door could swing open.
And the toilet was in the middle of the room at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna have to post pictures of this because
Yeah.
nobody's gonna believe us.
It's-
It was like a fun house in that bathroom.
Yeah.
So wait, your new bathroom, you're going to have
sounds
all,
like an unfun house.
all kinds of
Yeah.
room for activities.
Unfun outhouse.
All the room. It's like now I'll show you when we're done recording. It's like the Taj Mahal up there. It's like
It really
over 8-foot ceilings now. It's like another 3 feet deep, 3.5 foot deep. It's
Okay.
huge in comparison.
What else are
I'll
you going to
explain and
do
we'll
to make
photos.
this a really fancy, like this is now your like throne room. What else are you
Yeah.
going to do in this?
Well,
is
he
gonna
said
be-
he's going to try and make the shower fit 3 or 4 people.
You know, because
So
Right.
cool.
I mean, it's a bucket
And
hat
we
summer,
noticed.
baby. What do
Hey,
you want?
fuck it,
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
We're trying to get it lit around here.
No, what I was really referring to is you're going to need a bidet.
Oh, I was just about
Obviously.
to say that. Damn it.
Obviously.
Sorry, Jason. And you might also want to look into a squatty potty.
Squatty, I'm familiar with Squatty Potty. Yeah.
We had a Bluetooth speaker in the
Bluetooth
ceiling.
speaker in the ceiling and the
Yeah.
light, the whole
Yeah.
deal.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm going to drive all the way over to Lockport to poop.
TV.
Yeah.
Put a TV in there.
Oh.
There's enough room to put a TV.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Last minute yesterday, Roberto's
premium bidets or
so Roberto has been doing all the framing work, and kind of I was that customer that after he had already begun the work, I was like, hey, I know you already started and I know it's not too late, but can we put a window over on this one side, right? So he's like, no problem. This is how big the window can be. So Sheila ran over to Menards, got us a window. Menards! So it's just been awesome. I'm just stoked. Like I've been waiting 38 years for my own bathroom.
Man.
And now it's happening. It's happening. So
I'm truly envious.
I'm a
So
real boy.
I'm a real boy.
I have we have a bathroom upstairs that has no air conditioning, and all the walls are red. It's the only room like in the house that has red walls. So every time I go in there, I start pouring sweat instantly, and I'm miserable. It's very small. It's like the size of a little closet. So I'm cramped. It's like shitting in hell.
And you're wearing a bucket hat, which is making you even warmer while you're doing it.
I'm squeezed in there. I'm sweating, and all the walls are red, and I just can't wait to get out. It's
You
terrible.
just described what it's like to be a turd.
It's good.
Oh.
All right, good luck following that, Ryan.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
fired up about?
I don't have anything that interesting. I'm just fired up that most of the clients that I've had over the last couple of years that have contacted me and said, hey, we're not doing anything because of the pandemic. Everybody's back on board with whatever events they were doing. So I've been inundated with emails and jobs and even more referrals. So now at this point, I'm printing for every library in the area. Lockport, Crest Hill, Plainfield, Bolingbrook, all of them now. And it's crazy. And they've all got events going on. So yeah, it's unbelievable that everything now is coming back to the point where it's crunch time. Stock issues are still there.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
was gonna
kind of
say is how's that looking?
it's not great, but we're making do and everybody understands and everybody's super cool about it. But yeah, we're just gonna push forward. But everything feels like it's back to normal now for me. So
That's great.
I'm stoked.
Normal
for
for you is having a bunch of hot librarians slide in the DMs. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Must
If
be
you-
tough.
that. If you
Must
only
be
knew.
Cool.
Yeah. And then number 2,
Happens in Sean's new bathroom
Mm-hmm.
soon.
That
Could-
isn't
it could.
hell.
yeah, right. Number 2, I finally got this week an email for an actual proof photo of a shirt that have being made actually overseas, and I will have a ton of them sent to me, and hopefully we're going to have them for Clash AMs if everything
Yes.
goes well. And they are amazing, and I'm not going to say much more about them other than,
Is it the one you sent to me?
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes,
So
yes,
I
yes,
will
yes,
have,
yes,
Nom, 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 nom.
yeah,
yes. No, 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 no.
Is
I
it
have-
different colors?
it is just one colorway.
Okay.
And if these go well, then we'll do more. If you can guess, it's red and black and gray and white, of course. right?
Surprise!
Yeah.
Mother-
So I'm not printing on them. I'm having them made, and I've got over 100 of them coming. So they're going to be awesome. Hopefully you'll see them soon. I'm not going to say much more than that.
They're very cool.
They're pretty cool.
They're
I'm
very
stoked.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look out for those.
I'll have one.
Eh,
Are you
Okay.
gonna get some big boy sizes?
I got a lot of big boy sizes.
Thank you.
Yep. Look out. And that's all. That's all I got.
Nice.
That's a lot of things we're fired up about, guys
Yeah.
and gals.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wrap on this segment, and that means it's time to move along to the old Callahan
Callahan
rundown.
Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Who is that?
I feel like
Who's that brought to us by?
that's brought to us unofficially, or I don't know, who knows.
Semi.
Discgolfscene.com, baby.
Come on, Peter.
Come on.
Peter.
Pete.
Come on, Peter.
Pedro. Come on.
Calendar Rundown Spring 3.0 Workforce Brewing Open 4 is happening in 48 hours.
That's correct.
It is full because registration is closed. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm tired of the somebody dropped out, put up a post, fill the spot. Somebody dropped out, put up a post, fill the spot. So as things were, there are no more spots because I'm eliminating them as people drop. Because gum.
Bucket hat summer, baby.
Bucket hat summer, baby. Dellwood and the Masters of the Canyons. This is a new event this year, and for the first time, we are doing a Masters only event. Jason, what does Masters only event mean?
It means you have to be over the age of 40 years old to play.
Oh.
You gonna play?
No.
You could.
I could, but I'm not.
Good.
I thought it was
Exciting news
NBs.
regarding that particular tournament.
Yeah.
Shout out to Clay Bialphus. I'm just going to say that every time I use the word particular. Shout out to Clay Bialphus.
Sure.
Ryan came up with a really cool trophy idea. You got some things. We don't want to spoil it, which
No.
I just want to mention that it is different and it is
Yeah.
expanded upon maybe what we've already been doing.
The theme
Yeah.
of the tournament itself.
Yeah.
And I feel like it will be received well because of the clientele and their age.
Yes.
So I think it will be appreciated. So
There's
you'll
a
see.
wheelhouse that
Yes.
fits nicely into.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Masters of
Excited
the
for that.
Canyons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of course, Clash at the Canyons, both Am and Pro weekends are both live. Waitlists are full. Not many spots there. We have 3 hands raised. Excuse me. Yes. Sheila Callahan? Oh my goodness. Yes, that's a great time to bring that up. For those of you that don't know, when you are a TD for an event through Disc Golf Scene, come on, Pete, you get emails when people drop out, when they request a refund.
Which should be
And,
the case.
So there is a portion that you could fill out when you are requesting said refund that where you can put a reason why.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. Most people don't. I like the ones that tell me why, because I don't know. In my head, it's just like a little bit more justified. I'm like, yeah, not that I would ever deny their request,
Right.
because of course they're all getting refunds, but I like to know the reason why. So anyways, this one came across and I always look for the reason. And the guy said that it was because he was getting married that weekend.
Whoops.
This was, for Clash M. So I screenshot.
Wait. It was a guy or a girl that made this mistake?
It was a guy. Come on.
That's.
Come on. Come on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
So I screenshot it and I scribbled out the dude's info because I didn't want to put him on blast or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I put it on the story and just put underneath it like, what? With a haha emoji. Got a lot of interactions from that. That was funny. But then immediately I felt bad, like, oh man, like what if this dude had been scheduling and rescheduling just because of weird
Yeah.
COVID shit like
Sure.
that. I don't know. I just felt bad right away, but haven't heard back from that guy. But yeah,
The wedding's
because
off.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. Yeah, because he's getting married, he won't be able to attend Clash.
Whoops.
So I mean, the signups went live on February 1st, right? February 1st. April 1st. April 1st. Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't that
The
early. Yeah.
signups went live April 1st. So between April 1st and now, he got engaged
Which is only in 5 weeks.
and decided to get married in mid-June. So
We don't know.
kind of a big deal. I don't know. It's just kind of, 1 or 2 times in your life that happens.
Can I want to throw in another dropping out of a tournament story. I don't want to hold this up too much. But
Yes, please.
it's a lot of fun.
Please.
So at the, I think it was Birdie Bowl, somebody had to drop out and they did it via a comment on the page. So rather than doing like clicking the button
Withdraw,
and like
yeah.
withdrawing, he posted a comment saying, I need to withdraw from this tournament. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Can you just do it like through the formal process? And then he posted another comment that in all caps said, I formally request to withdraw from this tournament.
I declare bankruptcy.
Which is why that's the first thing I thought was I declare bankruptcy.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
So I was like,
People are
okay,
the
don't
best.
worry about it, bro. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Just withdraw.
Hilarious.
But it gave me a good laugh.
Next on the Callahan rundown, we have the Feather Frenzy / Women's Global event that is happening on August 6th, Saturday. That goes live next Thursday, May 19th.
So yesterday, as of when
Yes.
this episode
So
drops.
when you listen to this, it will have already gone live. So make sure you're double checking that on discgolfscene.com.
Come on, Pete.
Ladies only, obviously, over at Delhi, and going to be a great time. Has been for many, many years, and you guys have brought so many women out to play tournaments. It's incredible. How many spots do you guys have?
We're gonna have 80 spots.
80 spots. Sick.
And
I'm
it will
sure
not be a
fill.
feather friends-demic this year.
No.
It will be a normal frenzy.
Yes. Normal frenzy.
Are there any fears of your periods all syncing up that day?
Yeah.
Always. Well, that's a thing.
That's such a weird question.
Moving away from periods, we're going to get into talking about some leagues on this Callahan rundown. Monday nights at KLM, Disc Golf Chicago. Ever heard of it?
Mhm.
Alex, are you familiar with that club in particular? Or
I heard
shout out
some
to
good
Clay
things.
Vilefus?
Yep.
We'll be doing their Sunset Dubs League. Signups start at 6:15, tee off at 7 p.m. because you play in the dark, y'all.
And it
We start with-
requires a bucket hat.
Yeah, bucket
Well,
hats
obviously,
required
yeah.
this week, actually,
Yeah.
for the rest of the summer.
And don't forget about Birdie Babes on Monday nights. They are rotating courses. Sign up start at 5 o'clock and tee off at 5:30 for the ladies. But you still do the Birdie. What does Tim Potter and all those guys do? What do the guys do?
Birdie Bros.
The Birdie Bros.
Birdie Bros. Is that a thing? Like
Yeah.
they do their own thing while you guys are also playing, right?
Yeah, it's legit. They have their
Okay.
own tags too.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I really need to do that this summer. Tim was bugging. I think he gave me the number 2 tag or something like that at the end of last year, and then I was never able to play. But this year I'm going to make sure that I'm out there for the Birdie Bros, playing with the Birdie Babes. DDG bag tags on Saturday mornings until June. $10 for tags, 15 to play. 10 a.m. sign up, 11 a.m. tee off, unless we have an event going on, which does happen often. So make sure you check in with us. A lot of you guys do. I really appreciate that. Saturday mornings. Check them out. Also, Doc Borowski has started up Trinity Bag Tag Leagues on Sundays at Trinity Links. This is your opportunity to play the course that's been closed for way
Long time.
long time. So get in over there and get your practice in for anything that we got coming up that involves Trinity. That's about it. Anybody else got anything for the old rundown? Cricket noise here? Yeah, my brother Joe,
Mm-hmm.
he's getting married on May 28th
Mhm.
of this month. That is in a very short few
Yes.
weeks away.
Coming up rapidly, yes.
So we got to get our speech routine down.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on it.
I got to
Other
find a
brother?
babysitter.
You got to find a babysitter.
I do.
I'm looking forward to the union of my brother and his beautiful fiance Paige. She's amazing.
Mhm.
He's amazing, and I'm gonna try to make some old Asian ladies cry
Yeah,
at that
yeah, I'm
wedding.
looking forward to
and
it.
laugh.
Right, ride the roller coaster.
Yeah.
So speaking of Joe, I have had a couple people slide into my DMs
Oh, please tell me about this.
asking how much of the story was real and how much was fake.
100% was fake, wasn't it?
No, there was some truth peppered into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's see.
You do have a brother named Joe.
I do have a brother named Joe. Let's start there. That is a fact. The friends thing was real, and that's about it. Everything else I made up.
He came and he hung out at your house, and you guys watched Friends. But that was where it.
That was about the extent.
Okay.
Of it. Yeah, there was one time where Joe did come down, but
I remember that.
That was about the extent of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it not driving you crazy to be sitting here not wearing a bucket hat while the three of us look cool as cucumbers?
No, because you don't.
Not right.
You look fool as foo-fumbers. Because I know your heads are sweating. You're just trying to act like they're not.
I feel great.
Foo fumbers.
Yeah.
Beauty is pain.
I guess.
I feel great for the
Yeah.
record.
So do I. Because I don't have that
All right.
goddamn hat on.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
wrap on the Callahan and a rundown.
That's a wrap.
And now it's time to hear from our sponsors. All right.
Right.
Hey guys, it's Andy O'Day. You know me as AO the Mortgage Pro, your favorite disc golfing mortgage broker. If you are looking to refinance, now is the time to go over those numbers to see what's going to make the most sense for you. If you're looking to purchase, whether now or in the next maybe 18 months, let's develop that game plan so when the time comes, you're going to be ready to go. You guys know how to reach me on all the social media platforms, AO the Mortgage Pro. If you guys mention Unstable Discourse when you call me, you will get a free travel basket after closing. And now you can find me on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We are live now, episode 0 of Amortize This, talking all things real estate and all things mortgages. I look forward to speaking to you guys, and hopefully I'll see you on the course.
Hey, Disc Golf family, it's Andrew Weary with Redemption Disposal and Recycling. If you need a dumpster, we are your go-to local contact. Are you getting a new roof, remodeling your house, or doing some landscaping? Maybe you're just looking to get rid of the old junk to make room for your new hyzer racks and disc golf gear. Redemption Disposal's standard-sized dumpsters are large enough for most jobs. The 15-yard dump trailers are on regular tires and hauled by standard pickup trucks, helping avoid any damage to surfaces, allowing for tight maneuvering, and the compact style helps minimize any inconvenience to homeowners. Our convenient and speedy service is unmatched, all at a competitive price. You can find us on Facebook at Redemption Disposal or email admin@redemptiondisposal.com. We look forward to helping you out with your future projects, but until then, we'll see you out on the course.
Listen to Unstable Discourse on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, or right from unstablediscourse.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have the time, leave us a rating and review, or just tell a friend. It helps the podcast get to more listeners.
And we're back. And it's time for the bangers and mash.
Hey, how about those commercials? Those are pretty good, aren't they?
They were
How about them
great.
sponsors?
Yeah.
The ads.
That last one was very sensual.
You know?
Yeah.
That guy's
Yeah.
voice.
Mhm.
I don't
So
know who we
good.
paid to do that, but I
Mhm.
like his voice.
Yep.
I like the cut of his
I
jib.
like the cut of his jib.
Can I do an ad?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Right now?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it right now.
Is it taping?
You have
Yeah.
30 seconds.
This episode is brought to you by Liquid Death Severed Lime. This ruthless tallboy of flavored sparkling water is armed with agave nectar and natural electrolytes to refresh your body and murder your thirst. Murder your thirst.
We got a couple more chicks behind us, by the way.
Yeah.
It brings the total to 6.
6 chicks in the
Mhm.
room.
Can't keep him out. We're going to need a stick to keep him away soon.
Also 6 dudes in the room if you count Jack and Coop,
Well, that's true.
The real alphas.
right?
Very well balanced.
So we have
And he is
well-balanced.
locked in on those chicks.
Yeah, well, you know,
Yeah.
A little creepy, Jack.
they move. So
Oh, that's Coop. By the way, in the last episode, when you said, or when we talked about how Jack and Coop were in the room with us and you threw the dog bark right at that moment, genius.
No, I think that
That happened?
That
Yeah, I
happened.
didn't do
yeah. Yeah.
That happened?
Yeah.
I thought it was just more editing genius.
No, that happened.
We introed them and they said something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Couple of smart dogs.
Mhm.
They're
Smarties.
permanent cast members now.
yeah.
Anyways, the reason we're here is the bangers and mash, or as the British would say, Warren.
You got to say it in a
This is where
English
you say
accent.
bangers and
Bangers
mash with a
mash.
British accent.
Bangers and mash.
Wow. All right.
It's
Right.
started
It
great.
started off
so
That's
good.
right. You know, yeah. Everybody does that. They hit bangers great. They get to mash and it's just like
Who knows?
Yeah.
yeah.
Mang.
Yeah.
You went totally, British and then finished Alabama.
Yeah.
Bangers and mash. No, no,
No, still. Tennessee, no.
Can't do it.
London and then Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'll just leave.
No. It's fantastic. This is why we do this.
Yep.
We're going to start. We have a couple different topics we want to cover. So we're going to start with the Dellwood Magazine, the talk of the town.
Would it be okay if we called it the Dellwood Magazine?
Why?
Ooh. It's an inside joke in our family. The magazines are called Mazagines.
I'm Lauren, are you okay with it?
Yeah, I just want to know, do you guys read magazines front or backwards?
Backwards.
Well,
Definitely.
backwards.
Yeah.
Initially, I will
Backwards.
flip from back to front, but then when I'm getting into it, I will go from the first page to the last.
Huh, I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah, I go backwards too.
I
Yeah.
blame Rolling Stone for that. When I was like a kid, I was super into Rolling Stone magazine and collecting them. And the first thing I wanted to do was see because the back page is like where all the songs were charting and stuff and the albums were charting. So I would immediately start at the back and then work my way forward.
Oh, that makes
was
sense.
my favorite part of the magazine. Mazagine, sorry.
Mazagines.
Yep.
I just think it's easier to flip that way too.
Interesting.
Mhm.
It's-
To be honest with you, I've flipped through the magazine a bunch of times when I haven't actually sat down to read it. I'm kind of like delaying the gratitude.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
There, I want to I don't know, at some point in the future, I want to go, you know what? I'm going to read the magazine now. Like, I'm saving it for later. But
Yeah.
I flipped through it and it's just spectacular. Like, the vibe throughout the whole thing just gives me like warm and fuzzies.
Can I tell you my favorite part? I know you will appreciate it because we've talked about it, but the contents are great. But the tactile feel of the cover and the pages are phenomenal, and they have like a soft touch feel, and they are stain resistant. Ask my daughter why. But it involved some spaghetti sauce, and I thought I had ruined my magazine. But that shit wipes right off.
Nice.
Couldn't even tell. It's fantastic. So great job.
So the cover of the magazine is, a local celebrity. Who's on the cover, Lauren?
That is Sheila Callahan, PDGA number 182076.
Sean, can you give us a little JJ? Like, who is JJ?
So for way too long, I thought that name originated from Paul Martin, and it was in fact, I am drawing a blank on the other dudes. Ryan, Nick, and the gang, the boys. Matt Schuster, and Kevin Burke, and Scoozy. That's who I was thinking of. I knew they would all come to me. Yes. Okay, so there we go. Those guys came up with the name JJ, and then they just came in and told me about it, and Paul Martin was telling me about it at the same time, and he's buddies with them, so I thought that he had come up with the name. That's the origin story on the name. But he is a groundhog, or she, because we really don't know the sex. I have absolutely no idea, and there are many groundhogs, but we just call them all JJ. If you see one, it is JJ.
Sort of a Peter Parker into the groundhog verse kind of thing.
Absolutely. There are many of them. You can see them out on hole 4.
I'm imagining the Spider-Man meme, but 3 groundhogs pointing at each other.
Oh, well, make that happen.
Yeah.
Holes 1 and 2, you'll see them on 16, 17, hole 6, 6E, 6A.
Yep.
So they're all over the place, but they're out there.
And now he's become like an icon for Dellwood.
We were talking about it the other night when Lauren was over. There are people coming in that I don't know them. And they just today, there was a girl in the shop that was it was a couple girls and a couple guys. You could tell it was like girlfriends that were tagging along, playing with them, but they were also playing, which was great. And she looked at the little postcard turn style thing that we have there. And she was like, "Oh, JJ, we saw him out there." And I was like, "You know what that is?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "We're done here." All right. That's amazing. I had never seen her before.
That's so great.
It was incredible. So, yeah.
So I think you've made the perfect choice for the cover.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have to think much about it, or was it like, did you know right away, like, that's got to be the cover?
I think the one of the rough drafts was a collage of Jason. But
I was going to say the photo shoot that we did. it just didn't turn out the way.
Yeah.
The
But
lighting
that's
was off
actually
or
going to
something.
be the calendar now.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Sign me up.
Dang.
Yeah.
An erotic Jason calendar?
Yes. Lots of buttholes.
The men in local disc golf.
Good God.
We could probably make that happen, though. Firefighter suits, local disc golf dudes.
Oh, for sure.
And bucket hats.
And bucket hats, for sure.
Listeners, my eyes are so wide right now. But yeah, tell us how you picked, like, how did you decide what's going to be on the cover of this thing?
So I just felt like, personally, I've always wanted to do a magazine. And one day I was like, it would have to be Dellwood Magazine. And I instantly made that. What you see on the cover today was the first and very most thing that ever happened with the magazine. And then I sent the photo to Sean and Sheila in text, and I was like, a magazine? Question mark.
That was the whole explanation.
And that was yeah. It was like, the cover is here. This is happening.
And I'm guessing they were both like, duh, yes, please.
Yeah. I think they
Of
were
course.
kind of off guard. I don't know.
Well, she throws 1,000,001 things at us at all times. So, yeah, this was just one of the many, many things that is Lauren.
Sure.
But yeah, no, of
So
course
at
we
that
were,
point,
like,
you didn't
under-
really have the whole idea fleshed out. You were just like, that would be cool.
Yeah, and I worked on it for 4 months, so September through March, and stories kind of evolved. I think the one thing about it, number one, I knew that Illinois State was going to be a big event this year, and historically, because it's the 40th anniversary.
Right.
So I got Jesse Sains to write an article for it, which is really detailed if you look into it. And
Past guest of the show.
right, that really came out amazing. Sheila wrote a couple articles, and the last thing that came into fruition was
Fruitation.
fruitation.
Close enough.
I like that we're correcting you
Let's
to the
use
wrong
fruition,
thing.
Don't
Yeah.
edit that out. Was Leo, and I just felt it's so funny when you're creating something, because it's like you have things that you want to do, and sometimes you don't do them, and you like ignore what you're thinking or what you're doing altogether. And I'm like, no, I just whatever comes up, I just need to do it. So that was the Leo article, which was the last piece. And how we talked about reading the magazine front to back or back to front, Leo's article is in the back. And what I really loved about, I sat down and talked with him and transcribed his words exactly. That is the article. He's a good talker, and his story is really interesting.
Yeah, he talks like a broadcaster, like at all times.
After sitting down with him, I sat down and I went through all of Disc TV. I literally watched all of his videos. And
It's all great.
I
It's
felt
really
like
cool.
I've seen him before, but like it felt different. After hearing him, talking to him, it was like I understood his life and how it came to be about, and just the things that came up as a creator, which when you read his story and he talks about how the big network aired his show without his permission and the things that he did to like talk to them about. I've had that come up so many times in my own
can only
ways.
imagine.
And like, how do you approach that? And it's just, it was so interesting to hear that, because Leo remortgaged his house in 2002 to
Talk
make
about,
this happen.
Like just going for your dream. Like,
Yeah.
what a leap of faith.
Like, disc golf is so much bigger today. And who is doing it at that level today? Like, that is still something that you don't see.
Yeah.
Totally.
Only a couple of people have gone down that road.
And to do
Since
it in
then.
2002 with not that much of a...
God, that's awesome.
It's crazy. And it's awesome. It's awesome to tell that story.
You said that's like the final article of the magazine, right?
Right.
Which makes sense because what a story. You kind of, you want to end strong.
Banger.
What else is in the mag? What other stories or pieces can people, if you haven't gotten a copy yet, what else can people?
Well, here, let's grab it really quick. When you look at the Illinois State article, the thing that follows up next is the Throw Well tree, which was at West Park for years and years. This article is by Patrick Donnelly, and he's the one that drew the picture that's on the tree.
No kidding.
And Jesse Sains took the photo, and the photo was on the disc for Illinois State one of the years. And
great.
The disc is in flyingdiscmuseum.com. There's a little nice story here, but I think what I liked about it the most was Eric Pleithner wrote to me after it was published, and he said that he was disconnected from disc golf for, I forget, like 15 years or so. And he came back, and when he saw this article, because West Park's not the same. And the tree's not there
definitely
anymore.
No, it's
You
not.
don't
Yeah,
see it.
definitely
The
not.
layout's different.
Yeah.
So it brought back what it meant to him starting out in disc golf and going back to West Park. And, I'm going to think about that going forward with what goes into it next. And I just think about creativity and communication is more than just what we see and what we say. It's what we feel. I think that as a creator, if I feel connected to something, I need to expand upon that and bring that out to my viewers. And I think about past projects, like I did the disc golf typology, which was literally disc golf baskets shot in every season over the course of 4 years at the same distance. And I just lined them up all together on the same page. When I started that, I did it as a school project, and they actually told me to stop doing it.
Who told you to stop doing it? The school?
The teacher, because I wanted to do it as like a final. It was like this little piece of the puzzle, and I was like, okay. Like, it was just for this one class. But what they didn't know was I continued doing that same project for 2 more years. And I showed it during my the final presentation for my photography school. And it wasn't even part of my actual project, but I just wanted to put it on the board. I realized then that it hit people different because of the seasons and that. But I think for me, what mattered most is I showed that to my grandma. And I have never been able to like talk to her about this sport there's no interest there. But when I showed this to her, it made her laugh. like she never did before. And I'm like, well, there you go. That's exactly what it is. So
Mission accomplished.
communication is more than what you see and what you say.
100%.
It's what you do. Yeah. And what you feel. It's intuition.
And the stories are really meant to like help capture the feeling behind what's in these images and what you're looking at. that tree, something like when I was 15 and started playing West Park, to me and all my buddies were like, dude, that tree is, obviously so cool. Not knowing the history of it, kind of forgot that it existed. Now, because, like you said, it's not there anymore. To go back and read a little bit about like why it was there and get an understanding of what it kind of meant, that completely changes the way you perceive it. Just seeing that photo. Jason, you're kind of like pawing through the magazine right now.
From front to back.
From front to back, yes.
For the record.
What's like grabbing you about it right now?
So I went to school for graphic design. That's what I went to Eastern for. And it's the design. Like, I know that sounds silly, but like that's what I love about it. I just so happen to be open to the page that I'm in both of these pictures.
Yeah.
Go figure there.
No big deal.
But, of course.
I didn't know you were in graphic design. We need to talk, Jason.
Yeah, it's laid out in a way that is both, it is equal parts informative and entertaining to look at. Because what I'll liken it to is like, I've kind of changed the way that I'm a huge movie buff. I absolutely adore films in any capacity. And like a year ago, I decided that I was no longer going to critique film and just sit back and enjoy the experience of being in the theater and watching a movie. I was going to allow myself that experience and just be like, you know what? I'm just having a good time watching the dancing colors on the screen, because then you can look at it from a completely different perspective. You can look at it from the perspective of, is this keeping my eye on the screen? The design of the movie, if you will. And that's what just draws me to it. Every time, I've seen it multiple times now, but every time I see it, I look at it because I'm going to notice something new each time I start to flip through it.
Well, there are different ways to lay out something like this, like a magazine like People magazine or Vogue or something like that, where there's so many ads and everything has to catch your eye specifically so that you will...
You can sell stuff.
Yes, which is off-putting, but there's a style to it where you flip through a magazine and it feels like a magazine. And then there is like a more professional, like, I don't want to say a brochure, but something like that where you're displaying something that's not necessarily tchotchkes for sale or whatever, but it is, this is right in between that. But it is very difficult to design and set up in a way that looks so effortless, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of thought put into it, and Lauren did a great job with that.
Yeah. Zooming in on certain pictures and just having that picture be one entire page, like allowing that to happen, it's just fantastic. It's almost a piece of art as much as it is a magazine.
Oh, it's 100% a piece of art in my opinion. Like, it just encapsulates the culture so well. It's cool because it's from the perspective of the photographer. It's not from the perspective of the person who's trying to sell stuff, like you were saying. Like, you're getting the person who shot everything deciding, like, where's this going to go? How's this going to hit you? Everything about it feels like art to me. That's why I haven't even sat down to read it yet, because I just love looking at it so much. And I'm going to read it at some point, but like I said, I'm delaying that. I almost want it framed.
Yeah. I love that it's perfectly Lauren. It's moments.
It's moments.
It's not birdies and bogeys.
There's stuff in there that's like, there is no article to it. It's just like, hey, this thing happened. Like, here's a shot of like this amazing thing that happened, and all you get is this image. Next page. I love that so much.
Right.
Is that intentional, or can you speak to that at all?
So in those terms, when you describe it that way, I specifically think of the delis section, because that was actually the next thing that happened, because, I started creating this in November and the delis were in October. There's one page that's a portrait layout, and it's the disc. And
the Twan disc.
The Twan disc.
The Twizzard.
The Twizzard.
And I think I started laying that out because I wanted a way to name all the delis awards winners, but then I did it in a way where it made me think of like old records, like how you would read it on a record. And that's kind of like the turn of the disc. That's just how I think of it. That I really enjoyed. I did it, the overall layout, I did it in InDesign. So for the people listening, if they ever want to create something like this, it's easier than you think. Like I did it in InDesign, but you can almost literally pick out any program you want. If you use Canvas, whatever program you want, all you need at the end of the day is a PDF file. And I uploaded that to who I use is Issue. Their third-party processor is called Pichu, which is Peecho. And it just transferred over the file. I ordered the matte finish. You can select like different size layouts. I chose letter, but it's really easy to do.
Is it kind of a limited thing? Like if somebody wanted to get their hands on one now, first off, are there still any at the shop?
There are.
Okay, so there's still people can come pick them up. And once those are gone, what if somebody wanted to get one, like, say, God forbid, something happened to mine and I needed, or I just wanted another one, like next year?
I can always order back copies of it. I would put it on my website. I think I'm going to release the digital version pretty soon. I might do that in the next week or two.
Okay.
But I think the one thing I wanted to reconnect was just having a hard copy of it, because I think that's something that's so lost these days. And it's a different experience. You're not like...
It's like ordering a disc online versus going to Dellwood and picking it up and feeling it first.
Totally.
You can't... There's no comparison. Right?
Yeah, the matte finish, it's not...
Yeah.
It's plush.
Yeah.
Like...
And you can get spaghetti sauce on it. No big deal.
Right.
Yeah. Wipes right off.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have it displayed as a piece of art. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, go check it out. They're at the shop. They're not going to last long. Anybody who lays eyes on it's going to want it. They're so cool. And I just think you killed it.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thanks,
is it too soon to ask? But
issue number 2.
Yeah, like what's your vision?
Oh,
on
monthly.
What this means?
It better be monthly.
Oh, it's going to be monthly.
Yeah.
No, like the reality is this actually took 4 months out of my life. And, I work full time and then I'm coming home and I'm sitting on my computer till 10 o'clock at night trying to like lay things out. But no, there is definitely going to be a second issue. I'm already thinking of some things that should go into it. I definitely want to get sponsors in it. I want to get the community more involved because, the way this started, I literally only told 4 or 5 people about it. And that was it. Until I announced that it was for sale. Like, I didn't want anybody to know about it just because as a creator, something so new, like I was in my bubble quite literally. And I didn't want any other input to what was going to happen because this thing could have been 200 pages. And I just need to say no.
Sure.
And, so I enjoyed that part of it, but I could see it going in a lot of different ways. And we could almost do it for different events or programs or...
I love the idea of it being maybe like an annual sort of a recap of all the moments of that year. Not to, you're the creator, you do what feels right to you, but I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Well, one thing, I don't know if we want to drop it, but we are thinking about a yearbook, an actual yearbook in the magazine. So if the yearbook...
Wait. A yearbook where like people who've played Dellwood events have like a yearbook photo?
Something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
My.
Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah.
Copyright, trademark.
Yeah. And the magazine is really more, I feel like it's more stories and like a preempt into what's happening. Like just putting the calendar in there is nice, but we don't have to be set in any way. This could almost go any direction. And I think that's what's fun about it. And, we're open to hearing your feedback and whatever it is. I mean, maybe there's...
When you say we, who's we? You said we're open to hearing your feedback. Is that you, Sean, and Sheila?
Yeah.
So that kind of is a transition point for me because you were just saying that this was what you were doing after your full-time job. And after your full-time job, you're working on lots of other things. So I almost, would you say Dellwood is like your part-time job almost?
For sure.
So for people who don't know, you do a lot of stuff for Sean and Sheila and for Dellwood. More than I know, but can you start to give us a little like, what kind of stuff have you been helping with?
So, well, if I think back to how it started, I probably sent them about 10,000 text messages and messages about things they could do with their website. And then one day we actually just sat down and we did it. And that was before Clash last year. It was a month before Clash. And I redesigned their website in Squarespace.
Love Squarespace.
Yes.
We need Squarespace. If you want to sponsor the show, holler at us.
Squarespace, I am a Squarespace Circle member. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. But.
Website designer.
Who did the original website? Was that you? So what was it about the original website that made you go like, I want to talk to them about, what can be done?
I think I just, in our actual meeting, I had so many ideas, but when I actually got there, I was like, you know what? I don't want to announce any of these ideas. I want to hear what it is that they want.
Sure.
It transitioned along the way. You know, I didn't know what I was doing half the time or what would lead to what. And like the plan your visit page, I think that was one of my favorite pages to design because, you know, in our meeting, we didn't even discuss it. I didn't even think about it going into it, but I started to connect the two of like, what would a national park do or state park, and what would their site look like, and how would you plan their visit? And yeah, the weather report should be on there.
Totally.
And like things like that. It definitely evolved in a lot of ways. I could still see it evolving so much further. I think that's just what's special about it.
Did you look at any other disc golf pro shop or any other disc golf brand websites?
Oh, no. So actually, disc golf is, at the very least, it is usually not my inspiration. I don't mean to say it like in a bad way.
Well,
like
that makes sense to me when you're talking about
anything.
marketing, because disc golf marketing is behind the curve, like across the board. Anytime I see a company in disc golf doing anything that's like a semblance of keeping up with the curve of marketing, I'm like, good for them. Like, it stands out to me so much because everybody seems behind the curve.
Everybody is definitely behind the curve, and even trying to explain to Sean and Sheila like what it means to update your copyright at the end of the year. When I talked about that, like updating the copyright on your website, and then I was like, here, I'll show you some disc golf examples. Oh, wait, I can't even find one website that lists their copyright, including name brand $100 million companies. Like, how do you not have your copyright on there? Or a media kit? Like, it is just so disc golf. No, they are not my inspiration. It is outside. I love the Home Depot website.
Why do you love the Home Depot website?
If you go to the bottom of their website, all of their brands are linked up like SEO wise.
Oh,
so
nice.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but you can just see that they have people working on that every single day on all the little finest details. So it's like details go into everything and they add up and it makes for good design. So they're doing it right.
The Dellwood shop website doesn't have like stuff for sale on it yet. Is that ever in the plans?
Yes, it is.
Just curious because
Thank you, Sean, for that input.
The reason I ask is I'm trying to think about the impact of your work. Like what can Dellwood look at now since you've been doing these things, like, you know, redesigning the website, you know, making sure the SEO is on point and making sure all these things are sort of where they should be. What is Dellwood able to look at and say, here's like the benefits of that? You know, and I think marketers will know, but is there anything that you guys can feel yet business-wise? Does that make sense?
From the changes that she made to the website?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more activity. I mean, Sheila's constantly updating me on how many more people are visiting the website and all the data that we're getting from that, you know? I'm pushing it more because it is a place that you're going to find all the information on all the things. You're going to be able to get on our mailing list and, you know, get emails from Sheila every couple of weeks or so.
It's also a no-brainer for all those people that come in and say, oh, well, I didn't know the course was closed for a tournament. Instead of saying, oh, well, go look at UDisc or go look at the Greater Joliet Facebook page. No, just go to DellwoodDG.com.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. That was one of the things that we realized too, all simultaneously as she was kind of telling us all the things that we should be doing, is that, you know, social media is fantastic, but not everybody uses it.
Yeah,
totally.
Even a lot of young people that I know don't use it. We talk about it all the time. So, you know, it just kind of became the thing of, well, this is where our hub is going to be. And now that is done, and, you know, we definitely are continuing to talk about what that's going to become. It's
the source of truth. You should be able to go to the website and know for sure certain pieces of information. You can find out a lot on social media, but like also social media is so fluid, and like what's posted today may be deleted tomorrow. And like, you want to be able to go to the website and go, I know this information because it's here on the website. I can count on it. And you're doing that.
One thing that I want to touch base on too, that I just think about with so many disc golfers on tour is, you know, they have people that are like their parents are helping them build their website and their mom bought my domain name or like things are in different parts. So I think when you build a website and you look at those things, you have to think about it like, okay, I'm building this thing. This is my house. This is my brick and mortar. I know it has like an online space, but like you need to have ownership of your domain. I think that another thing is you really need to have everything go to your website. I don't want to bash Linktree or campsite bio or things like that. But at the same time, there are so many things that you can do on your website without paying an outside party. And you could build a page that has all your links. And I just don't see the purpose of going outside for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. SEO, obviously.
And Pinterest is huge. It's just amazing to me that nobody really uses it in disc golf, but the companies that do, that are doing their marketing right, are definitely using it. And it's
Disc Golf Chicago has a Pinterest.
Yeah.
Hey, just listeners,
Yeah.
I'm doing shoulder bumps right now, just so you know. Shimmy,
Well,
shimmy, shimmy.
It's the first thing that shows up when you run a search. And I mean,
Yeah.
99.
It does so much that I use the little Google shortcuts and put minus Pinterest every time I Google search because it comes up so much that
Right,
I
it's
can't
so
stand
strong.
it anymore. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it works. I mean,
Yeah.
it brings stuff to the top.
So for anybody in the disc golf community that has like a small business or pro players who want to start, like you were saying, build, taking their branding to another level.
Oh, I thought you were pointing to Jason when you said pro players.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I know you're like just slammed with like you have no free time. You just keep yourself so busy. If somebody wanted some like advice, do you do consulting or would you be opposed to people reaching out to you for advice?
No, absolutely not. I think it would be good to have those discussions.
Even if it's not a disc golf business, let's say it's just a disc golfer who has a pressure washing business or whatever.
Yes, we could have a consultation talk.
Yeah.
I can't talk.
I don't mean to drive a bunch of stuff your way that you don't want, but if you're into it and you can help people, and I don't know if it's something you want
Actually,
or not, but I think it could be really helpful.
consulting is something that I was highly looking into, and I actually just started an LLC this year. So I realized,
is it LLLC?
Damn it!
What?
Yes.
Is it LLLC?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's Lauren
I did it
Lakeberg
first.
LLC.
Oh.
But I think I realized that, photography is literally like 10% of what I do. And I'm like, there's no reason why I should be doing this. Like we made one of the most I was so excited just to make the brochure for Dellwood. Like that's not even like photography is not even on that level.
So the disc golf photographer is like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even her best talent. And
It's
she's
a
one of the best.
fraction of my life.
You've got to be the best disc golf photographer in the country, if not the world. I'll stand by that. I haven't seen every other disc golf photographer shit, but I would put money on it. And it's like just the top layer. There's all these other things you do below the surface. Just awesome. Badass. She's blushing, listeners. She's blushing.
Words.
Is there anything else that you really wanted to kind of let listeners know about sort of what you're doing behind the scenes?
So behind the scenes this year, you talked about a vision board.
I have, yeah.
Previously.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what my vision board looked like this year? Because usually I put a few things on there. I put nothing. Nothing is on there. It
Explain.
is literally a blank board on my wall.
What's that all about?
Space for freedom to see what comes up. I think, I've been crushing it so hard for so many years, and I'm like, just at the point almost like, why do I need to fill every weekend? Why do I need to do all these things? And
you are speaking my language
I need
now.
to just free up that space just to let things come up naturally as they are.
Yep.
And I feel like they definitely have. And I've had a few awakening moments from that. And one of the things that I learned this year is that, my purpose really is in my action. And it's just taking the time to have those conversations with people and follow through on what you're doing. Because if you're not going to follow through, like, what is the point of what you're doing? Like, why are you just waiting in the water here?
Spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have more free time. You're kind of trying to take things off your plate a little bit. So I know you were at Beltane the other day. Were you there just to hang out, or were you like there on a disc golf photographer mission?
No, so I had a pinched nerve, and I wasn't feeling it physically at Beltane, so I went out. I was supposed to play it, and I dropped out. So I just went and took the group photo and kind of took the weekend. I hung out with Chris. We went to Dick Blick, took the dog for a walk. Like, it was just nice to have some laid back time.
God.
And
yeah.
like, we need that more than anything. It's sometimes you don't realize when you're filling your schedule up so much, it's like you're not giving yourself time to think. And for me, the magazine, like, coming through as long as the season has been, it literally felt like we were all dying. It's like
honestly,
terrible. Like,
no,
just
you're
to
so
say,
right.
like, you could see it in everybody. Like, we all felt so depressed. And if you think about it, that was only 2 weeks ago when it was like 40, 30 degrees. And now it's 90 outside and we feel we're in bucket hats and it's like summer.
Yeah.
And we're all different people now. So
true.
To say it lightly this way, I had to let the magazine die and regrow, like, to replant seeds. I had to let that project just finish up and give myself freedom to think.
That's that, like, refractory period kind of thing. Like, you and Sheila both took a lot of time after Clash to do that, to just marinate and like get your sanity back and figure out what is going to be next, and just do nothing for a little while.
Right.
Super important. And it's a big flaw in my characters. I don't make enough time for that. And you just end up letting, like, it's cool to get things done, but at the same time, you're not in the moment ever if you're just constantly doing stuff.
No, and there's no such thing in multitasking. Realistically, multitasking does not exist.
You're just doing a bunch of things shittily.
And and too quickly, that you're just spinning out of control. And it's, what is the point of that? Yeah. You just need to focus it. And I think that just, like, goes into batch work too. Like, you just need to plan things out in ways. I know it's sometimes I talk about planning, but look at me. I don't even have a board with anything on it right now. You plan for your reawakening so that when the time comes and things come up, you can see the greater picture as to what you want to do.
Can I make a suggestion about your board?
Yeah.
I just think a single image of a bucket hat would really that's all you need to see for the summer.
You're right. Actually, I have Kurt Gibson on there too. Baseball card.
Wait, you just said there's nothing on it.
Well, almost nothing.
Oh, the truth reveals itself. Yeah. All right.
How the turntables.
All right. So that's kind of a lot. And I don't want to, I know a lot of our listeners are going to be kind of, I don't know if they're going to be fired up about the marketing stuff. I mean, some people I think are going to love it, but I also want to make sure we talk a lot about disc golf too. So I feel like let's start talking a little bit about Beltane. Now we've kicked off Ryan and Jason on the microphone, and now this is a female-dominated show. Now we've got Amy on the mic, and Sheila, and Lauren. And we're going to start talking about Beltane. You talked about Beltane last season, so some listeners are going to have an idea of what that is. But for anybody who has no idea, what is Beltane?
Beltane is our women's event that happens typically in the spring. Beltane represents the beginning of spring and summer and renewal. So that's kind of why we went with that title, since it's our spring event. It was called, prior to that, Mother May I. And then when I hopped on, we kind of switched gears and got witchy. But yeah, we just had that last weekend, and we finally had nice weather for the first time in a while. Yeah, and it was great. Amy and I can I say, killed it?
Yeah, we did. We did. So smooth.
Amy switched up the layout to make it more conducive for female players and uppers and lowers, and everything went really well.
Everything?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to it. There's a story. We'll get to it. But,
yeah.
The thing that really stood out to me, you were Amy, you were saying that with the layout that you set up and the way you separated the divisions, like, everybody's ratings got a nice boost from the event.
Yeah, I've actually been kind of experimenting with the girls' ratings every time I do events. I personally have noticed that the girls' ratings are better when they play the women's only events. And I wanted to see what would happen if I switched the uppers and lowers. And it seems like everybody everyone who shot well, who deserved a boost, got a really nice ratings boost.
Hell yeah.
it's good to see.
And the course looked fantastic. We actually did our Sunset Dubs League, just a day after you guys were there. So we got to use your island hole, which everybody loved. And I think we're going to probably keep doing that. So you didn't just play the normal course. You changed it up and made it unique to your event.
We did. Yeah, we switched up the layout. We put some shorter temp tees out there. We split up hole 18 into 2 holes. The way that they switched the tee pads and baskets, I don't know what they did for 13, 14, 15. Yeah. It's kind of unsafe.
Yeah.
So we played 14 and 15 backwards, and we moved the tee pad for 13. We played off the 40-yard line on the soccer field, and it played really smooth though.
Awesome. How many girls came out and played?
We had 71 women from 6 different states.
Badass. And who took who were the winners who brought home the hardware?
Barrett White won FPO.
Yep. Oh snap.
Michele Lopez.
Ever heard of her?
You ever heard of her? She won FA1.
Women's 40 am.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki Gernot.
Oh yeah.
50 was Judy Ryder.
Go on, Judy.
Yes. Intermediate women was Rebecca Delaney. She comes into the shop. She shot a 1 under.
She shot hot.
Yeah.
Whoa. She shot a super hot round.
Yeah. Bree Kaufman took down Rec.
Dude, she's been doing some shit this year.
She's fired,
totally.
Yeah.
And actually in Rec, second place, Shelby Clarida, she took second, and she didn't sleep all night because she was working. She
worked a 24-hour shift as a firefighter in Shanahan before she showed up.
And then rolled up and shot a 6 over. Yep. And in FA4, Emily Werman took that down.
Emily's awesome.
Yeah. And then we had 2 juniors. So we had Anna Wilborn and Leah Sione.
Leia.
I've seen that name. Is that
Eric Sione's
it's gotta be,
girl?
Yeah, I had a feeling. Yep. That's so great.
Yeah.
So you guys had a great showing. The weather held out for you. Mostly a perfect day, but it wasn't a perfect day.
Well, I mean, yeah, as all of you know, if you've played there before, there's the dog park.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, the police got involved, which was positive. They did their job of clearing the course and communicated to the residents of Hinsdale to vacate the area because we pay to play there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to rent the course out. Amy did the same thing this year, but there must have been miscommunication somewhere. So the signs were posted later than normal. The hours were wrong, and some people just didn't understand what was going on there. So we were policing it ourselves there for a while.
Which is tough when you're trying to focus on making sure you've got all the scores together. You've got all the details, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and you're doing your job as a TD. And then some, whatever throws a monkey wrench in your day. That's really stressful. It's hard to not get kind of worked up.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was stressful when you're paying a lot of money and just to feel, unsupported and unwelcomed by the community there. They were pushing back on us about having the course closed, and it's kind of heartbreaking.
You have mentioned that you guys might be doing it at a different course next year.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you're locked in on that decision.
We're doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Have you rolled around any ideas of what might work? Like where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
So our thought is to flip the tournament. So typically Beltane is in the spring and Feather Frenzy is in late summer. And I think we're going to go with flip-flopping it. So Feather Frenzy would be in the spring at Dellwood still.
Okay.
But then we would host a late summer, early fall tournament to replace Beltane.
Would you then change the name?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are 10 steps ahead of me, huh?
We haven't landed on a name yet, but yeah.
One of the things that I really loved about Beltane from last year was that the whole ceremony of tossing something into the fire and letting go of something. Did you guys do that again?
We did that again. And then I also added where you could, whatever you wanted to invoke for the year. So I had pieces of paper that had wildflower seeds in them. So you could write what you wanted to manifest and then plant those wherever you'd like.
That's so great. I'm trying to find a way to organically work bucket hats into this conversation. I'm not getting it. So I'm just going to move past that. Who helped to make the tournament happen? I know you were the official TD, Amy, right?
Yeah, I'm one of the original tournament directors. And then I got a all-star team with me, Sheila Aaron Havoc, Michele Lopez, and Rachel Braband.
Just killing it.
Killing it. Everyone plays a vital role in everything that we do leading up to it, the day of. It's amazing.
And Amy made all the trophies this year. They were awesome.
Get out of town.
Yeah.
Can I hear a little bit about those?
So there's actually a girl on Etsy named Alice from Magic Vector Laser, and she has really cool SVG files of layered paper creations, designs, and she made this one for us that with the logo is like a girl turning into a wolf, which ties in with the Beltane theme, which is like a pagan holiday of celebrating the halfway point between spring and summer.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they used to celebrate that was with fire and also dressing up as animals. So it kind of fit that theme perfectly. I have a cricket machine. If you don't
Hell
know,
yeah.
You know what a cricket is?
Oh, Liz is a cricket fiend.
Okay, I love my cricket. So I was able to cut out all the layers of paper, put them onto, paper, put them in shadow boxes, and then I printed out vinyl for the tournament name and the division and placement and put them all together, and they turned out pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Man, I want to see a picture. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And that image, like the logo for the event was, I was like, damn it. How do I get images
So good,
that so
right?
like it was so good.
Yeah, so we found the artist on Etsy and communicated with her about using it, and she was open to it. So
Dope.
yeah, worked out.
This is going to be a weird turn, but have either of you watched Yellow Jackets on Showtime?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Dude, that show.
That reminded me of it.
Mm-hmm.
The logo.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I can't wait for the second season to come out, and it's not coming out till like December.
Oh,
and it's so
damn
messed
it.
up.
I
They
did not
haven't
know
even
that.
gotten to the cannibalism yet.
Dude, spoilers.
It's in the previews.
Yeah. Yeah, listeners, if you haven't seen Yellow Jackets, that show is the truth.
It's awesome. It's
so
actually
good.
about a true story, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't know that all the details,
Sure.
But it's based on a true story of a soccer team that airplane crash landed in, I think it's in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Like forest.
Deep in the wilderness.
Deep.
And they had no way to get out, so they had to like do whatever they had to do to survive.
Yeah.
And the way the show works is you kind of meet the girls when they're in high school, you see them going to this event, and then their plane crashes. And then then it like jumps forward to when they're adults and like moms and like years later. And all you know is that nobody is allowed to talk about what happened out there. So you keep seeing like these women keeping secrets and then jumping back to like, okay, so what happened after the plane crashed? And then like the stories start to like meet in the middle.
So lost.
Yeah, they go
with
back
women.
and forth between past and present. And
Wild.
there's
Love
some
it.
really good actors in it. It's very cool.
Best show of all time. Jason's getting
So
on the mic.
speaking of women keeping secrets, I have a question that I can't imagine any other time where I'm going to have three women's attention. So I need to put this out there and get a woman's opinion. Because I've heard that you can tell if a woman is faking orgasm because when she has a medium orgasm, she just says, oh man, oh man. If she's having a strong one, she says, oh God, oh God. But if she's faking one, she just says, oh Alex, oh Alex, oh Al-. And I want to know if that's true. Is it true that
Wow.
Go ahead, answer everybody.
I don't
Can
even
we put crickets in here?
right. Yeah. Like that didn't.
yes, you can.
You son of a bitch. Get off the microphone.
All right, bye.
Okay. Well, I feel like we've gotten really high level stuff about Beltane. Is there anything else that you feel like listeners should know? Like if they want to get involved, for any women who've never played in a major organized tournament, like what is it that they're missing out on?
Oh, I would say community and getting to know other women. That's something that even I struggle with sometimes. And it's just been awesome to see everybody getting along and having something in common and just jump in, just do it. That's
Go to leagues first.
Yeah.
Check out Birdie Babes. Beltane, though, is a perfect first tournament. It's also a PDGA competition endowment program, which basically, if you're not a PDGA member, you get a discount of fees that they would charge. It's normally $10 to play a tournament if you don't have a PDGA membership, and it's only $5 for non-members. However, we did some fundraising between myself and the club and Michele Lopez, and we were able to buy memberships for our non-members.
Oh, that's so
that
great.
Played our tournament. So every single girl that played our tournament had a PDJ membership.
Yeah.
And
Get
I
out
think
of
that's
town.
pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many girls was that?
We ended up buying 4 memberships.
Wow, good job.
Yeah,
That's so
thanks.
fantastic.
Mhm.
I also want to just kind of echo the sentiment of like, if you've never gotten involved with a tournament or a league, just dive in, check it out. Or I've seen a lot of women just go to their first event, and then 2 years later, I'm seeing them like at all the events. Like,
Yeah.
I see people get hooked so easily, and you guys keep creating these opportunities for women to come out and play. You're just making it more accessible. So I hope, you know, every player out there is encouraging all the women in their lives to get out, try these events. You know, they may get hooked, and you know, every single new player brings more opportunities for more events, more like everybody brings something to the table, and you're really missing out if you're not encouraging, you know, all the ladies in your life to get involved.
Totally
Yeah.
agree.
And so Beltane also used to be a women's global event. They swapped the dates on us. So Feather Frenzy this year will be a women's global event for the first time.
Hey,
And women's global is really cool. So on August 6th and 7th, it takes place over the whole weekend, but women from all over the world will be competing against each other together at different women's global events. So we're hosting one at Dellwood. Registration opens next Thursday, and it's really cool to see your scores globally, you know, where you'd stand in the world.
Yeah. So cool. You guys are going to want spotters and like volunteers for that event. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
James Heath will be on hole 4.
Of course.
Everybody channel your inner James Heath.
Yep.
Reach out to Amy, reach out to Sheila, and throw your hat in the ring to help out. Let's try and make these events as badass as we can, because it's good for everybody.
Totally.
Yep.
All right. So before we get to Beltane, there's one last thing we absolutely have to talk about. I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet. How do you feel about Sean's impression of you?
No, it's actually funny. So should I
Wait,
talk?
hold on, Sean, stop. Lauren, actually tell that. That was great, but I need Lauren to actually say how she feels about it.
Go ahead, Lauren.
So I'll have to say what my gut reaction was. And I was like, oh my God, that is exactly what Chris does to me. But Chris does it without words.
What?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Me. And I'm not good at that. But I was like, oh my God, that is like, it's actually a thing.
All right. So before we get out of here, we got a game we're going to play. This is the Is It Sean or Lauren game. Ryan, Jason, and I have written a sentence, and we are going to feed it to both Sean and Lauren. And then you guys have to try and figure out, is it Sean or Lauren?
Mm-hmm.
Did I get that correct? Is that how this game is going to be played?
That is as complicated as it
Yes,
gets.
but I think it needs a game show theme song by Jason right now. Yeah.
Welcome to Is It Sean or Lauren? Brought to you by discgolfscene.com. Come on, Pete.
Party on Wayne.
Party
on Garth.
All right, tonight's
Wayne's
first
World.
sentence is supplied by me. And rather than me writing it down, I pulled a quote. And this quote is by Amber Heard. Ever heard of her?
Heard of her?
One of you, I'm not going to say who, is going to go first.
I was the only one that gave a shit in this relationship.
Next.
Guys, I was the only one that gave a shit in this relationship. 11-11.
Now it's for you to decide.
I'm sitting here and I can't
Which
tell.
one was Lauren?
I'm
and
watching
which
it.
one was Sean?
I was watching it and I couldn't tell.
It's impossible to tell.
Wow, good luck, listeners. What you need is another sample, I think. Another round.
Another round. Round 2. Is it Lauren or Sean?
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
That was 1. Here's the next.
I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious.
Once again. It's for you to decide. For you to decide. Was that Lauren or Sean?
One more to bring it home.
One more round.
Sometimes you have to slow down and listen to the universe.
Oh. Up next.
You guys, sometimes you have to slow down. And because you have to open yourselves to what ultimately will become the answer. Because you need to listen to the universe because it's talking to you.
Is it Lauren or Sean? Oh, wow.
It's literally impossible. This might be the hardest game ever. Yep. Ever.
One more thing.
What
Go.
No, man.
What's that?
Try it.
Yeah.
I don't like
One
it.
of your many
It's
talents,
so
Lauren.
weird.
We keep getting further down the iceberg. What are we going to find at the bottom?
Further down the Lakeberg.
More ice.
More ice.
Further down the Lakeberg episode name.
Ooh,
Duh.
further down the Lakeberg.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Good.
All right. That was a hell of an ending to the episode.
It was something.
Well done. Well done, everybody. Thank you, Lauren, and thank you, Amy and Sheila, for being here. That is
For my chopped liver?
Jason. Thanks for showing up.
Okay. Yeah, you're
it's
welcome.
nice-
Jesus Christ.
nice of you to be here. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and review and do all the things that help us. We love you. Do you love us? We want to know.
Circle yes or no.
Until next time, keep it tight.
See ya.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say one last thing before I left. Thank you guys for having me on the show. And just listen to your heart.
Unstable Discourse is a Top Secret Studios production.
You just described what it's like to be a turd.